Hello and welcome to Business as Unusual. My name is Megan from Greater London Properties. I hope your family are all safe and well. Just as a little introduction to those new people that are tuning in and joining us today, Greater London Properties have created a Facebook group called Central London's Lockdown Support Group. This group is mainly just to provide a platform for businesses that are still open and want people to know about it, that are businesses that are closed, that are thinking of different ideas in order to still generate cash revenue, as well as different organisations and charities. Now, we've started to do these live chats to meet the people behind the businesses at 11:30 every single weekday. If you didn't tune in yesterday, we had a great chat with Hospitality for Heroes as well, which is a really great movement for NHS frontline staff. Today, I'm very excited about this one, someone that our company know very well, especially from our Soho office. This is Barry Fox from Fox Soho. So it's a maintenance company that are based in Soho and now have been going on for over 15 years. So Barry, just to get us a little started and to give a bit of background on for the people that don't know Fox Soho, tell us how you got started.
Morning, Megan. Okay, yeah, I mean, I've been working in Soho for about 15 years. I originally was asked to start a team, a maintenance team, and sort of run it for one of the big property companies there. And then when that contract finished about sort of 10 years ago, I just basically what to decide to do. So I started up a company. I started Fox Soho then. So it's been developed over the years. We sort of said I was always surprised. Basically coming into Soho, I just imagine it to be a sort of commercial area, and the first 5 years it just surprised me what sort of community there is in Soho. Obviously, there's such a large residential and commercial community, but it's got a real sort of community feeling. So I decided to try and base ourselves in the middle, in the middle of Soho, basically, and try and try and service clients, commercial and residential, from there. So so we've been there for about 10 years, and it's been good. I'm still enjoying it.
That's really good. I love how you're, a lot of people in Soho do know you, and it is such a great community, which I do love as well. It's just such a family feeling when you're there, which a lot of people that are not in Soho wouldn't understand, I suppose. So yeah, it's lovely. And I remember actually when I first started working in Soho for Greater London Properties, I was still amazed how much residential was in Soho, because it's where, like, you walk past doors every day and you don't know that it's actually a door into a residential block, because there's so much commercial surrounding it. So it's an eye opener for anyone that's new coming in. Where are you based in Soho? So where are you actually based?
So we've got an office in Moor Street, which is people know, just off the end of Old Compton Street, and we've got a sort of lock-up store in Dean Street. So we're sort of so we used to say it's we basically we tried to do it so that we are, we're in every day. We have people travel in, and we've got sort of commercial vehicles, but a lot of times hopefully we don't have to use them. We just the people coming in, we've got all of our tools and a lot of our materials and stuff sort of stored. So when people call, 9 times out of 10 we can simply walk and deal with problems or things like that. So so that's because we find ourselves that there's loads of times if there's a service we don't cover, and I have to search for that sort of trade. A lot of the times you search and it comes up as local, but then when you actually call them, they say, okay, I'll be there in 40 minutes. So we sort of we took the plunge years ago, just go, right, let's space ourselves right in the middle of the community and make it easier, because it's worked okay.
Yeah.
So.
Avoids delays and you can get more jobs done, which is really good. Just before I keep talking about Soho, just for other listeners that are watching, you do also branch out to other areas, don't you? So you're not just specifically Soho maintenance. You're
definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah. Now, to say, obviously the point of having the vehicles and everything, we obviously so as where we're based now, and a lot of time, yeah, we can travel based all over London, the vehicles or tube or stuff. So yeah.
So just to go back to Soho, as I know that you've been around there for a long time, you've obviously seen it change. So what do you feel like has changed the most in Soho, or do you feel like it hasn't at all, really?
It's there's obviously been a lot of talk about Soho being sort of sanitised. You know, there's been things on the TV and stuff. I mean, it's again, when I first came over, I didn't realise what a base it was for sort of media and arts and things like that. And you can see there's quite some sort of high profile people that are involved in the arguments on the same sort of going the wrong way. I don't particularly. I mean, it's definitely becoming a newer, more commercial area. A lot of people look at that and say it's a better thing, but I think the sort of the spirit and the art side of it will remain. As I said, the media side, I think, is always going to be based down here. But when I first came up 15 years ago, there were certain sections that are not avoid sort of thing, which obviously that side of it's definitely gone, which I'd say is for the better. But as I say, as long I think there's enough of a movement behind Soho to keep its uniqueness is what I think. I think a lot of people think it's going to lose that, and I personally don't agree with it. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, I think there's enough people, like you said, that are just backing for it to stay, just keep its spirit and soul. What's your favourite part about working in Soho? Like, what are the best bits in the properties, or?
Well, the properties are obviously, for the main part, there's a lot of really old properties which sort of bring all different sort of challenges, stuff like that. I just, as you say, I just, if you're going to select an area to work, predominantly, as you said, we do travel out here, but predominantly to work, it is a very vibrant place. I always remember when I first started up, I walked past a pub on a cold like Monday lunchtime in January, and whereas obviously locally, if you walk past a pub, I looked through the window and it was packed, and I couldn't get my head around it. And I read all the media companies and that they a lot of the times I think they try and thrash out a problem, and when it doesn't work, they say, well, we'll go down the pub and try and sort out down there and things like that. So it's one of them places. It's no matter what time of the day, and also evening when we work late, it's just always on the go, and it's a sort of it gives you energy just being in the place. I think it's good.
Yeah, I get that feeling as well. Tell us a little bit more during this time. Obviously, people are not quite sure whether they can ask for help from maintenance companies, whether they're allowed to contact you. So tell us a little bit more about now and what you're offering.
Yeah, so we, as I say, we found it when it first started and the government guidelines were coming out. We found it quite difficult because we was looking at it, and I think they've handled everything excellently overall. But for somebody like ourselves, we was a little bit caught on whether we could continue working. They were saying you can still travel to work if you can't do your work from home, which obviously we couldn't. But obviously, we initially we was very conscious of should we be working. But basically, in the end we realised we still offer we offer an emergency maintenance, which again people are always going to need. We had an office refurbishment that was for it's still going on. This is for an NHS recruitment company. So that as soon as that's done, that's going to help them. And they are working remotely, but they're keen to get in. So we've sort of we've worked out a plan where we can still continue with refurbishment with keeping people distancing apart and things like that. So that side of it's been good. We obviously we are still we've worked out again. Same as ever, we worked out a system where we're confident we can carry on working safely. So to say, if people have got any issues, we're about. We did we put a post on regarding just basically to try and help any elderly with things like shopping and stuff like that. We didn't have many people come back on that, which I think in a way is a good thing, because I think basically the neighbourly aspect of the community has stepped up, and we thought we might get a lot, but I think neighbours are looking after neighbours, which is a great thing. The one thing we then tried to stress is that if any elderly or vulnerable have got maintenance problems at the moment, again, I'm trying to put yourselves in their shoes. They may wonder who they can call, or if they should call, or whether we want to come into their houses, whether they want us in their houses, that sort of thing. So we we basically, what I wanted to stress, because we've had a few calls, and we've gone and helped a few people out. But I thought we would have had more calls, which again, all I was thinking is I was picturing an elderly person whose light, say for instance, a lamp goes out on their hallway, and they sort of look and go, well, can I call anyone? Should I call anyone? But if it's causing them problems and potential safety reasons, then we should just get in contact with us. We'll do everything on a complimentary basis. Why it's in lockdown. Again, and also maybe if people have in the neighbourly network, if people talk to neighbours and they express that concern with something like that, if they get in touch with we're just more than happy to help in any way we can.
That's really great that you're being able to give that back. That's really fantastic, because I know that there will be vulnerable people out there that do have maintenance issues, even if it's something that's just hindering their day-to-day. Because if you're having to stay home every single day all of these hours, there are things that are going to go wrong in the house. So it's like for everything else as well. Obviously, Fox Soho are still open, but really tune in when if he's saying that the vulnerable people, he can help you out as complimentary during lockdown. So if you are vulnerable, if you are finding something really difficult at home, please get in touch with Barry, and he's more than happy to help. A lot of people are probably experiencing DIY disasters at the moment, Barry. What advice would you give to anybody that's kind of trying to do things on their own at home? Say, for example, like paint work or painting to begin with.
Yeah, painting. I mean, it's painting is obviously the one that people will have a go at, and as you're saying, to some extent, should have a go at. It's, I'm trying to think of basic tips. I mean, it's probably well known that the thing with painting to get a good finish is preparation. You need a flat surface to paint on, things like that. As I say, I'd be wary of plumbing or electrical issues. As I say, I'll be a bit wary of attacking those. But, I mean, people ask a lot of tips. We get. I mean, I'm trying to think a couple of what we do get a lot of. Say, for instance, with electrical issues, is basically people will call and say, look, say for instance, my kitchen, it keeps tripping out. I've got no power in the kitchen, and what I know a lot of people realise this is quite basic, but basically when a fuse goes and it's on a ring main, a ring of electricity into the kitchen, it's normally one of the appliances that suddenly is developing a problem. So basically all you do is the way to find out which one that is basically turn them all off, reset the fuse, turn each one on, one after the other, and as soon as it trips, that's the one that's a problem, and then you can obviously just take that out of the system and use all the others. And again, I certainly don't want the orderly or run with that, but for other people,
that's great advice, because that's the thing, where especially when I was living in Stratford a few years ago, me and my flatmates, we had to do a similar thing because we just weren't understanding what was going on. It's great advice because it can happen to everyone.
Well, I think the other thing with anybody moving into a flat, I think the best bit of advice really is, as soon as you're in, find out where the fuse board is and where your main stopcock is. And then you're just covered, because a lot of the times when you're looking for that, when you look, a lot of people move in and sort of don't find, don't locate them straight away. So like familiar yourselves where they are, and in case of an emergency, then you've instantly got a shut-off point. So that's probably the most basic, the best advice.
That's good, thank you. Something that obviously Greater London Properties, a property company, we speak to quite a lot of landlords and see a lot of new legislations coming in by the government. A couple of new ones that have come in the last couple of years is obviously EPCs, making sure that they're up to a good standard, and electrical safety inspections that's coming in July this year. We've not yet had a delay on this, as far as I'm aware. So do you offer these services? Like what overall services do you offer?
Yeah, so we do we do EPCs and obviously electrical certificates. We've got an NRC registered electrician. We've got a sort of gas safe heating engineer. So we cover all of the basic trades. And as you say, the problem nowadays, well, not the problem, it's just the way the world is going. Everything is going to be far more regularised. It's turning a bit of a family business, because I've got my son-in-law sort of joined me, and he's a NRC registered electrician, and he's a sort of been a project manager in a big firm for a few years. So he's joined me, so I'm happy about that. So he can sort of oversee things. I've got my stepdaughter dealing with all the social media. I'm of that age when it was all a bit. I'm still shocked. I'm talking to myself on a computer today. So that's like I say, we do offer everything, and what we do is also, some people prefer just to deal with somebody. So for anything that we don't deal with, we say, look, we're happy to to manage, source the companies for them and manage it if they just want to deal overall with their property issues with one company. So,
yeah. And I know that a lot of people would feel really comfortable with you because you're such a great guy. And I'm also going to, there's something that we have in common, which is that we love to sing. Barry actually does gigs in London sometimes, and he's such a great singer. He probably hates me for letting everybody know about this, but they need to know, Barry. They need to hear you sing. Where do you do these gigs?
I've done a couple of gigs in London, but I mostly do. I do some gigs sort of just locally. Basically, I live in Bexley Heath and surrounding areas around there. I've done it for a few years. I was generation. My dad was a musical lover, so I sort of grew up listening to him sort of sing around the house and that, and then I caught the sort of start of karaoke when you can basically, which is a great thing, because people, there's a lot of people who can learn to sing or get the chance to sing because of it. And I was doing a karaoke once in a I can't remember what it was in London, and a woman walked over and said to me, "Oh, you can sing a bit. Why don't you?" And strangely enough, she said, "I live in Bexley Heath." And I mean, that's incredible. I told her why. She said, "Well, I'm at a pub on Saturday, learn 2 songs and come along." And then she sort of she pushed me every week to learn another song, and eventually she turned around and said, "Okay, right, you've got a gig on Saturday at this pub. You've got to learn 3 songs," which was I was even more nervous than doing this blog. So, and I've done some weddings, and I really enjoy it. I don't know if people enjoy hearing me do the singing, but I really enjoy it. And I've heard you sing as well, and you've got an excellent voice. So yeah.
Thank you very much. To all you agents out there, if you're listening, you've got a great voice. So we need to get together after this, and we need to let everyone know if we're doing anything, and maybe do it for charity. I think you mentioned that the other day. So see what we can get bubbling. Thank you so much for joining us today, Barry. I really have enjoyed speaking to you. It's great doing this and seeing friendly faces. So I really have enjoyed it. Guys, don't forget to reach out if you have any maintenance issues at home. If you're struggling, if you've got anything that's hindering your time at home, please contact Barry. His website is foxsoho.co.uk, sorry, foxsoho.co.uk. And Barry, how else can they reach out to you?
If they want to call me directly, my mobile is 07984 465 622. And or if they want to send us an email, it's info@foxsoho.co.uk. But as I said, even if people contact us on behalf of somebody they think we can help, we're glad to look at anything we can help.
Perfect. I'll put those digits on once I've posted this as well, so that everybody has them for you. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Tomorrow we're tuning in with a nutritionist called Lily Suter. So make sure that you come and watch that. But thanks again, Barry. Have a good day.
No problem. Thanks very much. And you, take care.